What's up everyone? I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you for watching. Today I'm gonna do a makeup tutorial, but also kind of a mini review of the Gigi Maybelline collection. There are so many really good eyeshadow colors and lip colors. I was trying to decide what look to do, and I landed on this because this is my favorite lip color in the whole collection. It's called Austyn, and I thought a liner look would go really well with it. I didn't want it to be like a shadow heavy look. So I'm just gonna keep it simple, classic, and clean. So enough chit chat, let's hop into the video. So the first thing I'm gonna start out with is the Tinted Primer. Now I have to say I was a little confused when I first saw it. I was like, Tinted Primer, what does that actually mean? So for me, the way this works is kind of like a tinted moisturizer. I don't actually layer foundation over it. If I'm gonna go for a really sheer, just very natural look, using these, and this is the light medium and the medium dark. So you can see that medium dark is pretty deep, and then there's the light medium next to it. I have to say, very olive friendly. Thank you for that. So the light medium is pretty spot on, close to my complexion. I do mix in the medium deep sometimes, or I'll use it as like a contour product. So again, I'm not really sure why it's called a tinted primer. I wear this by itself and it looks so good. I'll obviously slap on a little bit of concealer just under my eyes and on things like that. So if you have skin that's not too problematic and you like going for like a sheer coverage look, I would definitely recommend this. If you like more full coverage, don't use this as a primer. I personally don't like the idea of using this as a primer. If you're gonna use this, use it by itself and just dab on a little bit of concealer after, do the bronzing, do the highlighting, all of that, but just leave it as like the sheer finish that it is. So like I said, the finish is very sheer, and I like that it kind of brought a little bit of warmth to my face. So now I'm gonna go into the Jet Setter palette. This is how it looks on the inside. Obviously I've used it plenty. I'm gonna take these out because I am not and never have been a fan of palette brushes, no matter what palette it is. I just always kind of get rid of those. So these two are concealers. This is the light and this is the medium. These are lip colors. These are eyeshadows, blush, bronzer, highlighter, and mascara. So with these concealers, this is actually a great formula. I don't know that I've tried a Maybelline formula that is like this. It might be brand new. So this is too light for me, this is too dark for me, so I usually end up mixing the two together. And with this, again, I'm just going to brighten the under eye area. Because with something like this, you definitely need concealer. You need something to like pull it together and make it look a little bit more polished. And the cool thing is, it's a light enough formula that I could add it to just something sheer like this, and it doesn't look like super heavy, like something super heavy on something super light. And again, mixing the two colors pretty equally. I'm gonna go into the other side. And again, just brighten up, and this color has like a nice salmon-y, apricot-y color to it. So if you want to conceal darkness, you could use that just by itself. And anytime you're blending with your finger, that skin to skin is just gonna give you a nice blended natural look. And now I'm gonna try to tackle this, guys. Really, it's like that one zit that is long gone, but I just have no self-control, so I just keep picking at the scab and it keeps getting red. And actually the best way to cover something like that is just to like stab it with the very tip of the brush. And don't conceal the whole area, because then it's really obvious there's like a circle of concealer right there. So hold the skin taut, and then just like I said, with the tip of the brush, kind of just stab it. I have another one right here. Fun stuff. And then just adding a little bit right here, just to brighten up the center, the whole center of the face. So that for me is just the perfect base. Super sheer, but you've got good coverage with the concealer, but again, it's still lightweight. I do want to very lightly set this because it is concealer after all. So I'm going to take the CoverFX translucent powder in light. And with this, I'm really just going to go under my eyes where I get that crease. Because otherwise it is just a really natural finish. So now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of bronzer, and yes, I am holding a fan brush because the way this palette is made, they're in like skinny slots, the pans, which makes it, for me at least, a little bit difficult to use, but no worries. I can just use a fan brush. And then with this, I'm just gonna go into my usual bronzer areas, a little bit along the hairline, and then for sure under my cheekbones. Also just a little bit of jaw chiseling. And get the tip of my nose. So this is a really beautiful blush shade, but I think I'm gonna skip it because I'm fairly certain I'm gonna use one of the red lip colors, and I don't want that coral to fight it, but it is a gorgeous color. I'm going to move on to the highlighter. So for my highlight, you know, my favorite brush right now for highlight is this guy. This is by Smashbox, and it's called the Precise Highlighting Brush. It just makes it more precise. I was not sure about this at first because it's got like a pink tone, but my friend Angie got in my car the other day, and she's like, dude, that Gigi Maybelline Jet Setter palette has the best highlighter. It's like the best one I've ever used. I was like, really? So I decided to give it a shot, and actually is really beautiful. So I'm going to dip my brush in there and then start applying that. It actually is a really beautiful color. It's more cool than I normally would use. I normally like warmer tones, but it is a beautiful color. So again, just dabbing on the high points of my cheeks, into the brow bone, and a little bit above the brows. Now I'm actually gonna show you guys a little hack that I've been using for the last few months. It's something that works really well for these dewy natural looks. So the Kopari Coconut Balm. This stuff it's a balm, but it's like coconut derived. So I'm gonna just pour some out on my hand. I take this and I like to dab it right on top of my highlighter. And not a lot, just like a little bit, to really give it that dewy, like really just natural highlight look. And because this is a balm, it just is like the perfect consistency for something like this. And obviously you want to be strategic about where you're putting it because you don't want to end up looking greasy by accident. So if I were gonna do just an eyeshadow look, which I typically do, just all shadow and mascara, no liner, I would be using this palette. This is the warm eyeshadow palette. There's a warm and a cool. I've been using this a lot lately. I posted a picture on Instagram a couple of days ago using this, and it's just, you can do so much with it. I usually use this color right here. It's like a coppery bronze, and I use that as my base, and then I'll darken it up with a little bit of contouring with this deeper color. Even this one could be a highlighter, but this is pretty much my go-to shadow palette right now. But because I'm doing a red lip, I'm gonna do really soft, neutral shadow work. So actually the palette that I'm gonna go in with before the liner is the eye contour palette in Warm. This is just like pretty much a neutral girl's best friend, like light to dark, all neutrals. So I'm gonna take a blending brush and dip into this color right here and just start filling in my crease. Why did I forget that? And the thing I really like about this color is like it's actually really brown. A lot of neutral transition colors tend to have a little bit of that, kind of like lipsticks, that tends to have a little bit of that pinky mauvey tone to it. I just really like a good neutral brown, and this is it. This is perfect for if you're trying to create a liner look and just want a little bit of contour in your crease. And the thing with this color is you can really get into the inner part of your brow bone, This could really actually just go everywhere. So I'm moving straight into the liquid liner from this collection. It's a pen, and it has a nice long, pretty sure it's this felt, yes, the felt tip. I used this the other day for a liner look, and it really worked with me. Sometimes liner pens tend to, like, if you hold it in the wrong angle, it's like the product doesn't come out anymore and then you're struggling. And I had no problems with this one. I actually really liked it. So I'm gonna create a really just very basic liner. So I'm gonna start right here in the inner corner. So really, really skinny just in this beginning part. And then once you get closer to the outer corner, you can start fanning it out. And then start mapping out the shape of the wing. So this is pretty much as far as I want to take it. This is like that really effortless baby wing, and it goes really well with red or any deep lip color. And you know I always do this no matter what kind of wing it is. I have to take a black pencil and line the inner rim of the top lash line, and you can see I've definitely used this one a lot. This is a really good pencil. This is, again, from the collection. It's the gel eyeliner. So this I'm going to take and just really darken up like I'm kind of just pressing it into my lashes, making sure you don't see that skin between the eyeball and the liner. Sorry, that sounded gross. And again, just starting really skinny at the inner corner. Just really focusing on getting that same shape that's on the other side. And then moving on to the wing. And then going back to the eyeliner pencil. Now for the mascara, I'm going to use the Gigi Lash Sensational. I actually really like the packaging on this. I like this mascara especially for a liner look because it really gives the sort of that cat effect at the outer corners. Just really makes the lashes nice and long. And moving on to the other eye. I try my damnedest not to let my mouth hang open when I'm applying mascara. It's so hard. All right, now before I move on to the lip color, I'm going to fill in my brows and just groom them a little bit. And for those of you who saw my shining moment when Mario did my makeup, I am obsessed with the way he did my brows that day. So I'm kind of just doing them like that lately. They're just like longer and more, just more bold. All right, moving on to the lips. The red lipsticks in this collection are probably next to the tinted primer, my favorite thing. They're just really, really good shades of red. There are 3 of them. I'm trying to decide between these two, between Hyde or Austyn. They're both fairly bright, but Austyn is definitely much brighter. I think it's gonna be Austyn just because I haven't used a really bright red in a while. I'm just gonna apply it directly. And especially since this is like an effortless, sheer coverage, like everyday kind of look, I think the brighter red is definitely a good pick. I just love a good classic clean wing with a bright red lip. And this is, like I said, a very comfortable matte. It's not like a drying matte. It still feels moisturized, but it has a matte finish. So that's it for this simple classic look and mini review. I know a lot of people were curious about the Gigi Maybelline products, and I wish I could do like multiple looks with all of them, but Like I said, I'm sharing the ones that I personally loved. I know it's a little bit of a higher price point for drugstore, so if you have other questions, if you're thinking about buying but you still have questions, leave them down below and I'll help you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.